Hey guys, what's up? It's Fonzie's Revenge here. Haven't talked to you guys for a while. Uh, I've gotten a better computer by now. Not as good as the last one. I won't be able to edit videos as well as I used to do, but I'll be able to record and basic edit. I'm pretty much stuck with Windows Movie Maker again, like when I first started. So yeah. But anyway, this video is not about that. This video is about Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes. Now, Metal Gear Solid 5, well, whole Metal Gear series in general, you guys know that I'm a huge fan of it. I have an incomplete Let's Play of Metal Gear 1. I pretty much own every Metal Gear except for the Game Boy Color one, the original Metal Gear 1 and 2, and Portable Ops. And the Acid games, which I don't really count them as actual canonical Metal Gear games, but they're fun. I played them. But yeah. So, this game takes place right after Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker for the PSP and on the HD collection on both Xbox 360 and PS3. Which, this video is going to be spoiler heavy at the end, but I'll do my best to avoid spoilers. So, one of the first things I want to talk about is the length. I want to get this shit right out of the way. So, hope you guys enjoy this. When it first came out, I went to the midnight launch on last Monday, and yeah, it was something I had fun with. I met people, I had fun. We talked about Metal Gear. The Final Fantasy HD collection also came out that day, which I still haven't gotten, but I'll probably get it for the Vita. You know, get some games for that piece of shit. But, yeah. I got home around 12:15 and wasn't there for that long, thank God. But, well, I put my PlayStation in the living room, and like I usually do when midnight release games comes out, and I played it for a bit. Around 2:30... I beat the game. Well, I beat the main story. Yes, there's only one mission, which is plot important, and the rest are just side missions. And, yeah, other than that, that's the whole game. The main mission, for the first time, it might take about 2 hours, maybe an hour and a half to maybe 3 at most. It took me 2.5, but yeah, it's a very short mission, but it does ease you into the other side missions you can do, which are very, very heavy emphasis on the engine, how the physics are, and yeah, it eases you in there. I'll be talking about the main mission at the end, for I can avoid spoilers until the very end, and I'll tell you guys when I want to talk about that. But yeah, the main mission is short. You're not gonna spend more than 3 hours on that. You can probably do it more to get a certain patches at the intro. If you guys seen the Gamescom trailer, you'll see you're able to collect those patches they drop from the helicopter, which is really not much spoilery, but they're all around the area. Now, I got both PS3 and PS4 version. I played mostly the PS3 version because I still don't own a PS4, but I'm such a huge fan of the series. I ended up picking the other one for not that bad. Each game's retail costs $30. You can get it digitally, the PS3 version, for about $20. If you're not the world's biggest Metal Gear fan, or a huge Metal Gear fan at all, I suggest getting this game when it drops the price below 10, around there. Because honestly, this game is not worth $30. Maybe $20, depending who you are. But that's the case. The price can hurt a lot of people's, opinion about this game. For me, I know what I was getting. So I knew I was going to get a short game with side missions. I pretty much cut up with everything that I need to know about this. So I'm not really complaining. But yeah, if you're willing to spend $30 on a 2-hour game, be my guest. This game is good. It's not bad. it's a really, really good game. It pretty much makes me join the hype train for the Phantom Pain coming up. Maybe next year, early next year, mid next year. It doesn't really say. I have the box with me, but it doesn't really say when it comes out. So I'm looking forward to that. Anyway, let's move on to the gameplay. The gameplay is actually really, really fun. You're able to. They added a couple features that were not in Peace Walker. It's pretty much a more refined version of Peace Walker, which actually feels more refined version of Metal Gear Solid 3D, which had a bit more refined controls as Peace Walker with the you're able to crouch and crawl. You have 4 places of movement. It just feels like a whole better, like they got stuff from what they learned from the previous games, from Metal Gear Solid 4 to Peace Walker to 3D to MGS 3DS, which is it's a good improvement, especially with controls. It takes a bit to get used to, especially with scoping. First person to do first person on the PS3, you press the R2 button to assume your scope if you're not having any weapons, or if you do have a weapon equipped to go first person. There is bullet drop like in a Battlefield, so you're not gonna be able to snipe with a pistol, or maybe you can if you know how to calculate bullet drop well. But yeah. The Fox engine is beautiful. It looks amazing. It really looks pretty good for a PS3 game, and that's saying a lot since the PS4 just came out. And the PS version looks fucking incredible. It makes me really want to buy a PS4 just to play that little $30 game that I got. But I digress. But in the game, there's one area. It's a small military base outside, like in Cuba, where there's Marines in there as cause as in the game. They're U.S. Marines. They have POWs in there, prisoners of war, for those who don't know military lingo. But the main mission, spoiler, is to rescue Paz and Chico in Metal Gear Solid. In Peace Walker, I'll talk about this later, so that's the main mission. So, to get you start at the very corner of the map, from a cliff, and your first objective is you have to go to the other side of the map. Now, from what I played, I pretty much knocked out every person I saw, and did my best to not get caught. I did pretty well until the second part of the mission, but I'll discuss more about that later. And from what I've heard from people, I've heard so many different routes people have taken, and it makes me impressed of thinking of like how open the game is, how you're able to go to one place from point A to point B, but take separate routes completely, and plus adding the patches where you're able to, find collectibles all around the map. It's pretty cool how open the game is and how far you can, diverge from your main mission to look some other stuff, save some prisoners, that kind of good stuff. Now, all the little things in the game, all the small details, the lighting, just how people react in the game, especially in the first mission when it's raining and night, they'll pull out their flashlights to see if there's any movement, any weird movements there. So there's that. It's just really cool. Also, the faces in every soldier is completely different from what I've read. I haven't really noticed since I didn't really pay attention to their faces. The CQC and tranquilizers were out like normal, like every Metal Gear. But you're able to calculate how long they last depending on what difficulty. Each mission has a hard and normal mission. I think they have other ones, but I haven't really done anything. At the end of the mission, you get a rank from, I think, I don't know if like they brought the D's back, but D to S, I guess. It might be C to S, but just like in a Peace Walker, you have a ranking system at the end of the mission. At the end of every mission, you're able to get a rank, and after you replay after you finish the cutscene, or maybe they don't have a cutscene, it'll give you more extra stuff in in the mission. Like in the first mission, you're able to get a rocket launcher or and a silence submachine gun, which could either be helpful or you never know. When you're interrogating people with a CQC, there is make them speak, or they can call out for help, which is, I don't know if that's a new feature. I don't remember. I've been kind of playing other games other than Metal Gear for a bit now. Persona 4 Golden mostly, but I digress. But you can make them call out for people, and with that you can, get to surprise another people, either kill them, slit their throat, knock them out, or tranquilize them. Or here's a little hint if you're actually playing the game. If you're near a guard tower, like right before you go all the way up, you'll get a prompt to just throw them down from the watchtower. It's pretty cool. I didn't know that until a couple days before I'm recording this, so I'm probably gonna go try that out later. In the game, you have this little weird thing that pretty much acts as a map, and you're able to use your Walkman with that. They call it an iDroid, a mixture between iDevices and the Android devices, which they have an app for on both app stores, they're free, and it is a good companion app for the game. It'll pretty much give you all the accessibilities the iDroid does in the game on an app, so you're able to listen to tapes, look at the map, which every time you mark a person in by zooming in close enough, you're able to see where they are all the time in the iDroid, which is cool. I didn't expect that from a game. I'm looking at my notes right here. There is a lack of weapons in the game, especially when you first start off. You only get Silence Mark 22 pistol and a assault rifle, which is Silence has a flashlight. So yeah. I'm hoping they do more customization, like kind of they did in Metal Gear Solid 4 in the Phantom Pain, but we'll just have to wait and see because no really information about it has seen it. But the Fox engine, which God, they've been halting that thing forever. They were going to put it on Metal Gear Solid Rising, but they never did. But damn, it looks good on it really looks good on PS3, and fuck man, it looks beautiful on the PlayStation 4. Which I've seen it, but I don't own a copy of. Well, I do own a copy of Metal Gear Solid 5 on the PS4. I just don't own a PS4 yet, which probably won't be for quite a bit, maybe till the actual Phantom Pain comes out. But I do have the game, and if anyone of my friends ended to get one, I'm probably just gonna let them borrow it for a bit. But the Fox engine, Jesus fucking Christ, I don't know if it's I know it's a graphics engine, and I don't know if it's a physics engine because, damn, it's pretty damn realistic, as close as it can be, of course, too. With still that expansion to fantasy. It's a video game kind of crap, so yeah. There is bullet drop, so if it's a little indication, especially when you go in third person. If you see them red, you're pretty much gonna hit directly with no drop. But if the reticle is white, you're gonna have to aim up a bit. So yeah, it's pretty cool. It took me a bit to get used to, but I ended up getting used to it anyway. So. First person is your friend with that if you're going to aim far away. So, the replayability of this game, you can always... It's okay. There's multiple missions. There's Assassin's missions. There's a rescue prisoner mission, Intel. The cassette tape for... I think it was the Tokyo Game Show. They showed on... it's in their game. The tape is in a different location altogether, but it's pretty cool how you're able to do things. Well, back to how realistic the game is. In Metal Gear Solid, I think Metal Gear Solid 1, when you destroy a camera, it's pretty much, oh, the camera's dead. Okay, whatever. In Metal Gear Solid 2, it's pretty much the same thing. In this one, though, when you destroy a camera, they're pretty much saying that, what the fuck, it's not supposed to be down right now. One of you assholes go check it out. And they do, and they pretty much notice that it's been shut down or been disabled. So yeah, it's cool. It's I'm surprised they haven't implemented it before, but it adds some more in-depth feel of the game. I can't really talk that much anything else about the game because it's, short when it lacks stuff. So that's pretty much all I have to say about the actual gameplay. So if that's all you wanted to hear, you might as well end this video now, because right now I'm going to talk about the story, so I'm going to give you a couple seconds, to click away or just pause the video. Okay. To the story. At the end, for those who haven't played Peace Walker, this is going to spoil that shit too at the very end. At the very end, Paz it ends up being a double agent, and she is known as Cypher, or they call her Cypher. I don't know if she's actually Cypher, but that thing. She pretty much takes your Metal Gear that you built called Zeke. You defeat Zeke, and then it goes under the depth of water. It's later found out that she was rescued and then taken to Cuba, and she's held hostage. In the later events of that, in the middle between both Peace Walker and this one, Chico goes on a mission, and then he gets kidnapped, and he's sent to the same camp as Paz. So what pretty much you have to do is go rescue them, and right before the whole gameplay starts, you see these guys called XOF, which we don't know jack shit about them, but it's this whole intro cutscene. There's this guy named Skullface, which we don't know anything about, and so it's interesting how the story is connecting and shit like that. But I digress. So right after this literally takes place a month, 2 months after Peace Walker. MSF is ready for an inspection from the government, and they're pretty much getting ready for everything. Huey is helping cleaning up and all that crap. So Snake is out on a rescue mission for Chico and Paz. The game start. So you go rescue Chico, and then you see the shit he's been going through. They bolted his ankles, which that right there gave me a bit of a cringe, because just thinking of a bolt in your leg just makes me feel fucking. They do that. You can only tell on all the prisoners that have that, so that's supposed to make them handicapped, or they can't run away. So you pick up Chico, getting picked up by the helicopter, which you can call on your iDroid, which it's one of the best features out there, and it just leaves in a cliffhanger. After you rescue Chico, you find out that Paz is in a different part of the bay after listening to a very, very disturbing cassette tape from Chico that he recorded. So yeah, right before you rescue Chico, he starts freaking out, and then you pretty much choke Chico, which that right there makes me feel makes me feel weird, because one of the main characters from Peace Walker already getting hurt, and it's not a happy feeling. Then especially from what happens later, which I'll explain in a bit. But after you hear the tape, hearing the beatdown Paz and Chico went through, you go out. You're on your way to search for Paz, which you do, and they pretty much cut her hair off, and she's pretty much unconscious. Which in the game she'll later say there's, which I'll say in a bit, but you continue on. You rescue her too. Once you rescue them, you're in the helicopter and you're ready to go back to Mother Base. Everything's fine, but then Chico notices something on Paz's stomach, a scar, or stitches. There is a bomb inside her stomach. So you get this very, very gory scene of surgery of Paz's insides, and how there's no anesthetic, and they're just forcing her with a bomb coming out of her stomach, which gets thrown into the ocean. Then then Snake gets a call from Huey saying that everything's all right, and it's about to wrap up once they get the whole inspection is going to wrap up before they get here. And here's when it gets dark. Right after that cutscene, you notice that outside that you can't get a real call from HQ from Mother Base. So you see one of the first things you see is a boat on fire. And then you see one of the most painful things that I've seen in the game, especially since over 50 hours on Peace Walker building Mother Base, and you see all of Mother Base going to shit, explosions, everything, chaos, a whole war zone inside, and you see Kaz, and you're pretty much rescuing him. It's a whole cutscene. It's pretty much right after the mission. It looks fucking beautiful, but goddamn it makes my heart fall because, I worked so hard on fucking creating Mother Base. It's something that makes me feel a bit angry. But it's something. I don't like that scene, especially all of my hard work. But Kaz's reaction pretty much it sums it up all pretty well. And how my feelings with Mother Base. But right after that, Paz, he pretty much tries to wakes up Paz, and it finds out that there is another bomb in her, which she ends up opening the helicopter door, falls off, and explodes right as she's falling. So she's dead, and that's how the game ends. Yeah. Prior to this, when you're rescuing her, she'll start selling that she has a bomb in her stomach. She has a bomb, and you get some hints like, oh, there's a bomb in her. We're probably gonna see something about that. But yeah, the game just ends after she blows up and the whole helicopter starts spinning. There's been a lot of speculation, like, oh, right after this, it's the 9-year coma he's in that trailer, which from GDC, which is still an amazing trailer, which I still watch constantly. But yeah, that's what's going on. This all ties up. This is pretty much a bridge from Peace Walker to the Phantom Pain, which makes sense, and I found it enjoyable. The ending, how Paz died, kind of makes me, yeah, she's pretty much a bitch, but goddamn, I don't think she deserved to die. So yeah, that didn't make me happy, but Kojima's has to do what he's got to do. So I'm good right now. That's pretty much all I have to say about the story. I like it, but goddamn that ending. The Deja Vu mission. I wasn't able to talk about that, but I am now. The Deja Vu mission. It's fucking boring. I'm not gonna lie. All this is you just literally making reenact scenes from Metal Gear Solid 1. You're like, that's cool. For like the second time, and then you're like, it gets like, okay, yeah, Metal Gear Solid 1. One thing I haven't talked about is Kiefer Sutherland as Big Boss. I was hesitant at first. I actually did not want to, David Hayter. Yeah, David Hayter. Miss him, fucking Snake. Ugh. But he does a good job. Kiefer Sutherland does a really, really good job as Big Boss. I am fucking surprised. I pretty much ate my words saying that Kiefer Sutherland should not be Snake or Big Boss, but yeah. But the whole thing about David Hayter, somewhat making a big deal, is very, very interesting of what's going on behind the scenes. Pro Jared said it best with his own thoughts about Big Boss, how maybe in the Phantom Pain, when Big Boss becomes all evil and shit, and there is a young Solid Snake, that he's probably going to be voiced by David Hayter again, or who knows. Well, we'll see what Hideo Kojima is up to in the future. There's nothing that much to say because all the same voice actors are back from Peace Walker, and they still do a very fine job, so no complaints there. But that's all I have to say about Ground Zeroes right now. Maybe when the other games come out, we'll see. But anyway, this is Fonzie's Revenge, signing out for once. I'll be back soon. Trust me. Later.